Webheads and wall crawlers, villains and vigilantes, you are now tuned in to the Disney Holic Show. Hello and welcome to the Disney Holic Show. That's Mike TV.
And that's Jen Diz.
On
On
today's
today's
episode,
episode, we go full spoilers on Spider-Man Brand New Day. Then we swing through Spider-Man's whole history in the theme parks. Lots of web slinging fun ahead.
not me trying to steal your lines.
Oh, I thought we were just doing a duet because it's such a fun episode coming up.
I love that. We can anytime, it's like the old school answering machines. That's what always reminds me of. We could just do pieces of it together. Why not?
Wait, I never did that. You did boy
You never did that with like your family when you're super young?
no. Now that I think
Like,
about it,
thanks for calling. And then everybody goes, the Williams family. And then
wow. Never did that, and I feel left out. FOMO. I'm picturing I
ask your
see
parents why.
people in movies and TV shows do that, like when they become a couple or move in together.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like the next scene is that. Uh, well, first things first, I am in the home of Peter Parker right now in New York City, recording
Oh,
from Upper West
dang.
Side.
Taking this podcast episode real seriously.
Yes, yes. Um, the Actually, I can't. I'm just thinking all about Spider-Man right now, so I'm gonna just jump around with our first things first because being here in New York City is crazy after so I've been playing Spider-Man 2 PlayStation 5, which is one of the best video games of all time. The Spider Saga. There's three games, but Spider-Man 2 and some of the most fun I have in that game is just literally swinging around and listening to music. And that just makes me
Aw.
happy. And I just go into deep thought and I just do that and the graphics are so cool and it's like almost 90% accurate. Like you can go and find the office that I worked at. Like it's
Yes,
that
I love
accurate.
that.
And all
That
the
is so
landmarks that you
cool.
think of. And then it's mixed with MCU. So the Avengers Tower is there instead of MetLife Tower in the real world. So cool. So I just like to swing around that. And then I go and watch the movie. And then I go to New York City and I'm lucky to have this hotel room that I was in that had a balcony and it had the Empire State Building and Times Square and Rockefeller Center like right there. And you
Wow.
look up and you get dizzy, that type of thing. So I just felt like I was in Spider-Man again. Like now I'm in the
Don't be
game.
jumping off the balcony because you don't
Oh
have
yeah.
that in your veins yet,
I'm like,
okay?
oh, nobody would know. I thought I had a web shooter. Sorry about it. But yeah, so anyways, I'm in New York City, home of Peter Parker.
Very cool. I am jealous. I do have a question though. That video game, wait, I don't want to jump
Yes.
ahead.
There's so much. There's
I'll
some
just ask because we talked about the video game. I have never played it for even 2 seconds, but I watched you play it a lot when I was visiting you.
Ooh.
And I really, really like it, even just to be a bystander watching somebody else play it, which is, in my opinion, not a whole ton of video games are that
Yeah,
entertaining unless you're actually holding the control.
not
But
many.
this one is very good game. And I swear there was a scene at the very beginning of the movie that was straight out of the video game. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yes.
Was
Okay,
it supposed to do that?
we will
Okay.
definitely talk about
Okay.
this. I'm
All
so
right.
glad you caught that. Even as someone who didn't physically play it themselves, that is so cool that you caught that.
I was like,
Um,
wait a second.
oh my God, I love it. So the movie came out just this week. We're recording early again. I'm traveling, so we're recording this in advance on the Sunday before we usually do it. And yeah, so the movie's fresh. It just came out. I watched it Wednesday at Amazon Prime advanced screening, and you watched it just on Friday, opening
Yep.
day.
Yep, yep. Um, the movie theaters were insane and it was so exciting. It felt like we stepped back in time. We kept saying we were in the 90s. Like the shopping plaza we were in had a Build-A-Bear workshop and
Oh my
like
gosh.
we're just like this is so weird. And then we ended up at TGI Fridays. I'm like, it is the 90s. Like
Oh
what's
wow.
happening?
That's hilarious. What did you
But there
get?
was a huh?
What did you get at Fridays?
Oh, we just did the happy hour menu because it was like midnight or
Appetizers.
something by the time we got out. Yeah. So we
Okay.
did some apps and it was delicious as always. I love TGI Fridays happy hour. But and there's like one left in the world, and it's right by my house, so I'm happy about it. Not really, there's more, but hardly any. But the line to even get in the movie theater was long. Like coming out
Wow.
of the front doors, the concession line, I don't know how long it would have been. We waited for like at least 10 minutes, and we're like, it's either popcorn or the movie. Like, which do we want to do? So we left to watch the movie, and like when we walked down the line that was already very long and all the way down the hallway, we then saw their switchbacks. So the line was like insane.
Wow.
So I was like, this feels so old school. And like, there's all these people in Spider-Man costumes and
Woo!
all their
I love
t-shirts
that.
and everything. It was the biggest like fanfare movie, like cinema moment I've had probably since before reserve seating. I swear. It
Wow.
was like so cool.
I love that so much. We always say we're fans of fans, and
Yes.
it is cool to see the webheads come out
Yep.
and represent.
And it's
And
also fun to watch it with them because the gasps and the oohs and the
yeah,
ahs during the movie, it's
uh-huh.
like, and it was very hard to find a seat. We happened to find two together like afternoon of. I think people probably canceled because there's only like a few spots in each theater and like they were single seats. So
Wow.
Samson and I finally found a pair together for like the 8 p.m. show or whatever it was. So we're like, let's go.
This is
Crazy.
a big weekend for movie theaters because they have the Odyssey and then they have
Mm-hmm.
The Spider-Man. Both movies that people want to also watch on premium formats if they can. And so they're just making so much money, which is so good for all of us because we want movies to
Right.
stay in theaters and longer windows of time. But
Mm-hmm.
these theaters are adding like 2 a.m. showings, 8 a.m. showings.
Oh my God.
It's
What?
pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And there's particularly in IMAX over here, Lincoln Square in New York City, it's like one of 14 true IMAXs left in the US. And that one is like running 24 hours at this point to get the Odyssey audience
Oh my
through.
God.
Yeah.
Have you
Exciting.
seen the video of people watching Odyssey in 40X?
Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine.
It looks
Sprayed and everything.
hell crazy. Yeah. It's like, I don't even think I want to do that.
That's
Like
a
it's
long movie too
like the
to sit through it.
Velocicoaster, but
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
intense. But well, good for theaters and good for cinema. So,
Yes, thank you. That's so true. Okay, now I have some more things about Spider-Man before we get into spoilers. So there's plenty that people can stick around for before we get to spoilers. We will announce when we start spoiler talk, right?
okay. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
And uh unpopular opinion, I don't know, but if you haven't seen it and it's Wednesday after opening, then you are someone who might not be worried about spoilers, so that's okay. You'll just watch it backwards. You'll hear our banter and then go backwards. Some fun facts about Spider-Man. He is the number one most popular Marvel character of all time.
Okay.
Um, and before pre-MCU, so like before 2005, number two was the Incredible Hulk.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah.
And then number three is Wolverine.
Okay.
Those are the top three. Since the MCU, now number one is Spider-Man, still. Love it.
Okay.
Love that for him. Number two is Iron Man.
Oh, I thought Captain America would be it.
Ooh. And number
Okay.
three is Wolverine.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. And if as you see in the trailers for Spider-Man Brand New Day, the Hulk is in this new movie, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah,
that
I
was
did.
two of the top two OGs comic characters. Okay, so Spider-Man Brand New Day, some other fun facts is it was directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. Love this director. He did Shang-Chi.
Mm,
And what he set out to do was bring the physical aspect of Spider-Man and the fighting and the parkour and bring that back. And he's the right person to do that because Shang-Chi had so many cool stunts and they brought a lot of that over from like the Hong Kong stunts people. So perfect setup for someone who was trying to make this type of movie. Great director. He also directed that Disney Plus show that I don't think it did well. and I didn't watch it. Oops, American Born Chinese, I think it was called. But I remember we got hyped at
Oh yeah, I wanted to
223.
watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah, too cool. It had Michelle Yeoh in it.
Dang, I never even like started, but I was really excited to watch it. I don't know, just life was busy, I guess.
Life
Maybe I'll
is
watch it
busy.
now.
There you go. It's still there on Disney Plus. He also was going to direct Avengers Kang Dynasty before that got canceled and the whole thing
Yeah,
changed because of the actor got canceled. So it's nice to see that Marvel and Kevin Feige kept him in mind and brought him over to Spider-Man to direct what is pretty much agreed upon is going to be a trilogy. They pretty much said that this is the second trilogy now of adult Peter Parker. So hopefully he sticks around and directs all three. That'd be nice. It's written
nice.
by Chris McKenna and Eric Summers, and the score is done by one of your favorite composers, Michael Giacchino.
I did see that on the the
There you
credits. I was like,
go.
ah,
So cool. He's everywhere. And
yeah,
first featured film that he directed, well, hour-long film was Werewolf by Night, also on Disney Plus.
love that. Love
Okay,
that.
so Tom Holland, this is his fourth Spider-Man movie. That means it's now gone longer than the other two Spider-Man universe franchises. So Tobey Maguire's went for three movies, and Andrew
Hmm.
Garfield's went for two movies. And now Tom Holland is taken to the fourth. He's also now like executive producer. He's running the set. He's no longer just the actor. He's like
Oh,
really a
I did
part
not
of
know
it.
that.
Yeah. And it's so cute. A lot of in these these press junkets, you could hear the more adult people who grew up, who saw him grow up, they're like so proud of him. Yeah,
Aw,
like John Bernthal, who plays the Punisher in this movie, he's like, I've known him since he was 17, and I'm so proud to now see him standing up and managing the entire set of this film and confidently and well done, really well done.
that's cute.
It's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So, okay. So that's a little bit about behind the scenes and some of the exciting things that we already know. It's only Sunday, but the box office records are in. It pulled in $72 million from Wednesday through Friday. So that's what they consider previews, is anything Wednesday to like Thursday, technically Friday 2 a.m., those Thursday midnight screenings. That's all called previews. It got 72 million.
Oh my God.
Where do you think that lands on like a list?
For just previews?
Yeah.
The top? I don't know.
Top highest
Yeah,
ever.
I was
It
gonna
broke
say
all the
that
records.
sounds really high.
The previous record holder was Avengers Endgame
Makes
at
sense.
60
Okay.
million.
Oh
That's a
wow.
big gap, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, and that's just crazy. That's not even opening weekend. And opening day, which you contributed to on Friday, 168 million added to the 72
Oh
million
my God, just that one day?
just for that one day. And
Holy.
so they're predicting now the estimates coming in is that it's going to end the weekend with higher than 357 million, which will also beat Avengers Endgame.
Holy crap.
Crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, like, when I was looking for tickets, there are so many showings per day.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like 20 showings at each theater per day, if not more. And they're all full. Like
Wow.
just all full. So it makes
The
sense.
demand is there.
Do we know the
And
budget of the film?
I don't have that offhand, but
Okay.
it sounds like these numbers are so high they'll break even pretty quickly, which is
Yeah.
again good for us fans. Some other fun facts are that this is the first time the Spider-Man Tom Holland film is opening at the same time globally in China. And apparently it had
Okay.
a huge debut there. So the global
Ah,
numbers start to come out next week, and we'll follow that. If that's fun for you, it's fun for me.
yep.
Um, and they also say a lot of the critics are saying, or I should say more of the fans are saying, this idea of superhero fatigue that we all thought was happening with movies and TV shows. Maybe it's not really there. We just want good movies about like the popular ones. Maybe I don't know what it means, but it's good. It's a good thing. Like Supergirl did really bad, and people were like, "Oh, no one wants superheroes anymore." And then a month later, Spider-Man comes out. It's like maybe it
Have
was
you
just
seen
a
the
better movie.
Supergirl cup? I won't even go into that. Never
Oh
mind.
no. Oh my gosh. Well, did you get any merch, by the way? Spider-Man merch.
No, and I don't usually get merch for movies. I don't know why. But the theater we went to had the worst ad for it. As soon as you walk in, the popcorn buckets were out on display, like at the very front, and one had like an eye missing. And I'm like, this
Oh
is jank.
no.
I'm not gonna buy it
Yikes.
already just
It's
from
already
that.
broke.
Yeah. But no, I did not. How about you?
I did get two Spider-Man buckets. I didn't plan on it, but I also assumed that they'd be sold out. I usually miss out on this stuff. So it was there, and then I was stressed out because the line was long, like you said, and I didn't want to
Oh my
miss.
God, so long.
I came like pretty close to showtime,
Hmm.
and I actually did want to watch the trailers. I thought there'd be some new trailers. And so then I ended up getting in line, but I was getting stressed out. I got in as the Coke popping thing was happening with the dancers, which I
Oh
hate.
yeah.
So annoying, the AMC Coke popping thing. But yeah, I got a Spider-Man popcorn bucket head and a Spider-Man popcorn bucket with like his suit on it. Pretty
Nice. I
cool.
did miss my popcorn. We also got in with the Coca-Cola and the heartbreak feels good in this
Oh, you
place.
gotta have Nicole Kidman. I can't miss her.
It's like where we walked in, so too close
Yeah.
for comfort and no popcorn. But did they show the new Doomsday trailer that they showed at Comic-Con
They showed the same one that we already
that we already
saw.
know? Ah,
Did you get
boo.
that too?
Okay. No, I didn't. I missed them all because the Coke stuff is
Oh.
after that. Like for, at least at the
Oh.
theater I went to.
Yeah, I did watch the trailers. I watched all the trailers and we got so maybe I got in before the Coke Pop. They had the old Doomsday trailer. So I
Huh.
haven't looked into it yet. Did other people get it? I thought maybe because I watched it on the Wednesday we didn't get it and it's not officially
Yeah, I don't know.
released.
I don't know what
Darn.
happened.
I would like to see that. Okay. Um, well, speaking of walking into the theater and the feature presentation about to begin, I think it's time for you to give an official spoiler warning.
Yes. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. I don't know how else to do an alert sound, but everybody that doesn't want to know spoilers to Spider-Man, A Brand New Day, Brand New Home, Brand New Day,
Day?
Brand New Day. Got caught on that. Go ahead and skip probably the rest of this episode,
Yep,
right?
fair enough.
Yeah, skip the rest. Come back to it later. Go watch the movie. Come back to us. You'll have your stopping point on this episode. You can pick right back up and you'll be all good to go.
Well, here we go. So the premise of Brand New Day is it takes place about 4 years after No Way Home, and that's the another mind-boggling fan audience reaction movie with Tobey Maguire popping in and Andrew Garfield and some of the villains from the old Fox Spider-Man officially put them into the MCU through these parallel multiverses. Um, that ended the Homecoming trilogy, and now we're in the Brand New Day trilogy starting 4 years after. And if you recall, at the end of part three, at the end of No Way Home, Doctor Strange does a magical spell, so that anyone who knew Peter Parker is not going to know who he is anymore. He's erased from people's memory. It means they still know Spider-Man exists and he's a hero, but he's now anonymous once again. And that means Peter Parker also lost his connection to everybody because they don't know who he is, including his friends and loved ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very sad.
very
Could you
sad.
imagine? Could
It
you imagine
is.
having to live in a world where you still remember everyone, but they don't remember you?
The loneliness
That's
must
like
be
the
so sad.
nobody showing up to your birthday party times a
Yeah.
million. Ugh,
Oh, and then to make it
horrible.
worse, so he ends up caving, I would say caving, because he spent a good 4 years not going back into the lives of Ned and MJ. He kind of just watched them from TikTok and Instagram. And but after 4 years, there's like a chance encounter that he has, and then he ends up inviting himself to a housewarming party for Ned and MJ who are moving in together. So cute. But they don't remember him. Yeah. So like your best friend doesn't remember you, and then you see your girlfriend kiss none other than Ezra Bridger from Star Wars. He's a new character in this movie, and he kisses MJ, so she has a boyfriend, and he has to watch it.
Yeah, that's hurtful.
Ugh. So he's
Oh, it's so
basically
sad.
erased. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
And then on top of this, it is his body, he's experiencing physical changes. His body is going nuts. And, I don't know, I'm not the director, but I don't know, like, but my thoughts are like the things kind of go hand in hand. Like the loneliness and the emotional stress is like triggering this physical effect. Like instead of what would be a rash or hives for someone else, is for him, he's like getting organic spider powers and metamorphosizing. Ooh, and it's pretty creepy when that was happening.
Yeah, I don't know as much about Spider-Man as someone like you does, for instance. It's always like I remember this was like a whole joke when we had all three of them together. So like, is it something to do with that? Or is it just him evolving? Like, what is it? Do you know?
It's all of the above. You got all of it.
Okay.
So in the comics, Spider-Man traditionally only uses web shooters because it goes along
Mhm.
with him being a boy genius engineer like Tony Stark, and he made it all himself. His spider powers are more so the stickiness and the spider sense that he has when you can tell
Mhm.
something's going wrong. But the webs were not part of his mutation originally. And in the original Fox trilogy with Tobey Maguire, directed by Sam Raimi, who loves body horror, he made the decision to make the webs organic and squirt out of Tobey Maguire's wrists, which did piss off a lot of the fans. The movie was so good that it was
I was gonna
fine,
say, was it
but
not from the comic? It was just Sam
no.
Raimi.
Yeah, it was Sam Raimi. And it's pretty
Okay.
gross, like when you think about it. And they really played on the body horror and the gross part. And even Peter Parker getting grossed out in Brand New Day when it started squirting out. Ugh, it was pretty gross. So they did say behind the scenes that they included that on purpose as a homage to the conversation they had about how gross it is. And it's 2-on-1 because two of them have the proper web shooters and one Tobey
Yeah.
Maguire as the organic webs. Anyways, yeah, so that's happening. He's transforming. And one of the fun things about that is there's a deep cut there because in the comics, there's like a very dark run of one of the Spider-Man series where he turns into something called Man Spider. The name turns around, and it's almost like Freddy Krueger or like a horror movie. He has actual giant spider legs that come out of his sides that are hairy and
Oh.
nasty, and it's
Ugh.
it's really gross. Yeah, and so a lot of people were hoping that
I was
was
gonna
gonna
say I'd be
they're
down
gonna
for
do
that.
it.
They should bring that
Yeah,
next one and bring Sam Raimi back in.
he
Oh.
would do it, Man Spider. But they kind of just teased it a little bit, and it still went with the story in its own way, showing that he has a mutation, and it is a DNA related mutation, and that means he's trying to take control of it because it's not behooving him. It's really making him act crazy, and he hears things like much louder. Like the way they showed that was pretty cool, and the
Hmm.
reactions to that. Um, Now that leads him to make this inhibitor,
Yep.
and he engineers this little metal thing that goes on his neck so that it prevents him from using that extra DNA mutation. What do you think of that?
Um, I think it's just
Mhm.
fine.
It's fine.
Smart.
Everything's fine. So the reason why there might have been gasps in the theaters and the nerds are freaking out like me is because the cool thing about the MCU is it follows a lot of the same beats in the comics, but sometimes how they get from point A to point B changes.
Yeah.
And you either love it or hate it or just go with it. And I thought this was cool. So what they're basically introducing is the technology that at some point in the MCU, when the X-Men are introduced, the bad guys, like the government, they need that technology to create these collars that they put on
Yeah.
the X-Men to prevent them from using their powers. And so the
Okay, I did.
theory is,
I thought
uh,
about that and I didn't even put it together because even when I saw Jean Grey was it, I didn't even put any of it
yeah,
together. Okay.
yeah. So they're building onto this guilt that's going to happen because he created it. Peter Parker created a technology that they could not create
Okay, I did not put
themselves,
that part together.
right?
Wow.
And Bruce Banner warned him. He's like, "Are you sure we should
Yeah.
make something that's universal? That means it works on anybody's mutation."
Ah, I didn't
Uh,
catch that because he said it like a couple times.
right? Oh, I got
He brought
chills
it
just
back up a
now.
couple times.
Woo! Okay, so yeah, let's talk about the villains. You mentioned Jean Grey, huge reveal. One of the reasons why, if you are bought into the whole MCU and you follow it, you definitely want to have watched this opening weekend because that was probably getting spoiled already on socials, I'm sure. But yeah, so there was kind of different layers of villains in this movie. So the in my eyes, the red herring villain is slash was Jean Grey, and we saw her like using her telepathic powers to pop into other people's bodies. What did you think of that power?
It reminded me so much of the movie Fallen. Do you remember that movie with
Was
Denzel
Denzel
Washington?
Washington? Yeah.
Yeah. Where they would like touch, they could just, it wasn't like a sending it off, but they had to just
Yeah.
touch somebody. And they would do that to like run real fast by just go tap, 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 tap all the way up a
Wow.
line of people. Then he'd have all the people turning and talking to him, and he would know it was
Wow.
that other person taking over their mind. It was
Creepy.
like
It's a lot
very
like that.
much like that movie, and I really liked that movie way back in the day.
Yeah, that domino thing is cool to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
So they filmed that all, like I watched some behind the scenes on that, and those are all filmed real. So to see it when they are all ready and then they say um action and then you see it happen like from a behind the scenes
Like
thing. It's so
everyone's
crazy.
throwing
Yeah, like
themselves.
the choreography has to be perfect or one person can screw up the illusion. They're like accidentally still moving after their cue. So yeah, that was really cool. And this is very much teenage, young, untrained Jean Grey. And that's why I think it's pretty cool. I love that they introduced her as like the kind of villain because this is Jean Grey before she's an X-Man, before she's under the mentorship of Professor X, because in the comics, she becomes his first pupil. And so he's probably out there and has not become that yet. And so she's just a rebellious teenager who's mad and upset and is anti-government, and even more so because what happened? They kidnapped her sister,
Yep.
Sarah. Yeah.
Yep.
So how did you feel? What was your theater like when I guess the reveal happened when they showed her name on a piece on the screen because they were looking up people based on who she was and trying to find out who this bad person's identity was on surveillance camera.
Um, there were some gasps, but not a whole lot, and I'm wondering if it's just because it was spoiled for everybody.
Cute. Even on the Friday. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had the screaming, like screaming
Oh my God,
and
amazing.
cheering. Yeah. And then to the point where it's totally fine in this case, but there was still too much
Oh yeah.
after I couldn't hear what was happening next because everyone was
Oh my
still like
gosh.
flabbergasted and like whispering about what it all means and probably like some I told you so's and stuff like that. So pretty cool. And so yeah, this is our official um proper X-Men character now introduced in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that just means so many things. It means a lot.
It's insane.
It's insane. So first of all, here's my questions, and I don't have answers to these questions. But
Okay.
what
You're
does it
asking
mean?
me?
Are you asking? Asking the
Asking
universe.
the universe, the multiverse.
Yes. Okay, so she's a teenager, so that means the X-Men are gonna be, as they get rebooted after Doomsday and Secret Wars, they're gonna be teenagers because Jean Grey is pretty much the median or average age of that group, if not a little bit older, because she's kind of the mentor by the time a lot of them come in to the academy, to Professor X's school of gift. I forgot what it's called. It's not mutants, but Jean Grey is a teenager. So that means when we meet the new Wolverine, the new Gambit, the new Nightcrawler, all of them, they probably are going to be around that same age. So that's one thing that we can start thinking about. And that means
Weird.
we're going to see probably the origins. You know, sometimes they decide to not start with the origins at all. They just go straight on. But it sounds like we're going to get the origins of the X-Men again. And the cool thing that I like about her showing up in a Spider-Man movie is it's very comic book-esque of Spider-Man. He's the character that pops up in like everybody's story. He just like shows up in a random comic book. He'll just like come down on a web and just put his 2 cents in or like say something comical. And so it's just cool to see these two
Now
huge
they're doing it to him.
characters come together. Wow.
That's interesting. I remember Samson kept he not a bunch of times, maybe twice during the movie, asking me like, what timeline do you think this is? Like what not timeline because that's a whole other term now, but like what year do you think this takes place in?
Oh,
Because Spider-Man's the age we know him to be, but Jean Grey is super young. And if I were to place them together, it'd probably be at the ages that I know them at, right? Like Jean Grey was much older from what I've seen of her, so
yeah.
it's interesting.
It's so different. Normally, Jean Grey would be older than Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And so this is now he's kind of the mentor. So yeah, this is interesting seeing how MCU is going to still tell the same familiar stories, but just a little differently. And I think that's okay. I think that's cool. If they do it good, they just got to keep doing it good. But yeah, so we saw a little bit of Jean Grey's powers, but if you know her from the cartoon or from the comics, she's one of the most powerful, if not as powerful as like Wanda, Scarlet Witch. And so we're just seeing the beginning, and she even took on more powers and started harnessing them even more in one scene of the movie where she helps everybody escape by freezing half this of Manhattan. Frozen, pretty
Mm.
cool. Which Jean Grey does in the first X-Men movie, played by Famke Jensen or whatever. She does that in the
Nice.
museum. So another cool nod. It is a power that Jean Grey has, but I feel like there's very obvious things that are homages to the other Spider-Man films. So speaking of, one of the things that they confirmed was Tom Holland tried on both Toby and Andrew's original Spider-Man suits, and they he modeled in them with Destin, and they tried to figure out what they liked about each, and then they put that into the design of his suit. So it's like, and he felt like Tom said his character Peter is bonded with those other Peters for life. So it wasn't just about the actors in real life, is in the story. He now met them in
Yeah.
No Way Home, and so he thinks about them, and he would do that in the in the story in canon. So I love that. They just thought about everything. Like these are real fans. Okay, video game.
Yes.
They played the video game on set. Like that's how obsessed they were with this video game. They were playing it on set in between takes. They played it
How
in
funny.
pre-production leading up to it. Both Tom and Dessen had already played it before they even started production on this movie. So they already came in as Spider-Man fans and fans of the game. And they said they very specifically used things like his finisher moves from the game. They put that in there when he was fighting a lot of the
Nice.
bad guys, especially in the beginning when you got to see him just be neighborhood Spider-Man. They used a lot of that. The parkour came directly from that. And a lot of the swinging scenes, they tried to replicate the exact feeling you have in that game. So you felt like you get to be Spider-Man like from behind it. Oh,
That's cool.
and then the music. The fun part about the game too is that they have music playing. And we got some music here. When they played Bad Bunny, I was squealing and I was dancing. They played EEO and he was swinging through the city. Amazing. So yes, you caught it right away that it looks like the video game.
Yeah, the part that really, really made me think of the video game was when he was on a rooftop, like fighting like five guys that were all just on in all black or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I swear this is like the first scene I ever saw of that video game.
It's like they looked like those NPC stooges, the bad guys. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
So cool. Wow. I like it. I like when you do get to hear from the filmmakers and then they accomplish what they set out to do. That it's always fun for everybody. It's like, all right, that's what you're trying to do. Okay, so there was a real villain in this movie, if you don't think Jean Grey was a villain, and his name was Bill Metzger, also from the comics. He's head of damage control, which damage control, from what I know, is actually an MCU thing, and they created it back after the Battle of New York and the Avengers, and it's the government trying to control the aftermaths of super, I think they could just call them super powered beings. And eventually, this keeps evolving to become a very scary organization who, rather than trying to mitigate, they are going to start trying to eliminate people with superhuman powers, including what will become the mutant saga coming up soon. So, We got to see the beginnings of that, and he will probably um, have a role in what was created in this movie, and that organization becoming things like the Sentinels, which are those big red and purple things from X-Men. So we might see some of that. But yeah, he was the bad guy, really, right? He killed Sarah, Jean Grey's sister.
What happened? I don't remember what happened to him in this movie. Like, is he still
She
fine?
he's arrested for
Okay,
now, but he'll probably get out, government. And she was about to kill him with the glass shards, and it was frozen in place.
that's right.
Yeah. And then Peter, oh, this was such a great scene. Such a great scene. He let her into his mind. So she didn't have to force herself in. And that's how she's used to doing it because she was being a rebellious teenager and being a creep and without consent going into people's heads, which is, yeah, it's scary. She can be a villain. But he invited her into his brain. So that was already different for her. And then he let his own story of Aunt May, when she talked to him about being a superhero, he let her experience that same conversation with Aunt May. So Marissa Tomei came back to replay the role. Another one, she's like 60 or something. I don't know how old she is, but she looked the same as she did
Right.
10 years ago, whenever Homecoming was. But yeah, so that changed Jean Grey's mind, and she's now getting she also was lonely, right? Just like he was in the beginning of this movie. And
Yeah.
she's now getting a sense of what family could be like. She had a horrible family, so it's like leading up to hopefully Professor X finding her at some point. But she came back out of that mental illusion and changed her mind and dropped her scary freeze on everybody and did not kill Metzger after all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Metzger is giving me TVA vibes,
Oh,
maybe
I could see
because the
that.
government side, but like in their damage control scenes, there's a lot of like wood paneling and stuff like that that kind of give that aesthetic of Loki. It was reminding me of that a lot.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay, another big character. Hello, Incredible Hulk was in this. So we saw him first as Bruce Banner, and Peter went to ask him for some advice about that inhibitor we talked about earlier. And then at some point, Jean Grey possesses the Hulk. That is so crazy. That's like a comic crossover happening in just her introduction already. Like that is so cool.
Yeah.
And so she controlled him for a while, and then he turned into the Savage Hulk, which is like the worst one you can be, which is even bigger and scarier. And he lost his mind. She was already out of his head, and he was crazy, and he was fighting Spider-Man. That was just like a cool action scene between Spidey and Hulk because we always see him as Mark Ruffalo, so it's fun to finally see him again as like scary Hulk.
Yeah. I like when he did the clap. He's like clapped his
Yes.
hands and the whole hallway like exploded. I was like, wow.
So cool.
Crazy.
So that happened. Another big character, Punisher. So he's from the Daredevil series, and they brought the same character and actor over, John Bernthal. And so he plays Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. Peter just calls him Frank, and I just love that they're just like New York friends and
Yeah.
just just deal with each other. And
They're cute. I like
yeah, they're
their
it's a great
whatever you call it,
pairing, right?
chemistry.
And the chemistry going back to them knowing each other, you could see now like they're comfortable with each other. Like they know each other's banter and the dialogue was good and
Yep.
smooth. So that was cool because the Punisher would pop in and out of the movie here and there. In fact, he's the one who almost killed Spider-Man. If if I didn't already know there was going to be more movies, like we already know, I for a second thought they killed him. They killed Peter Parker because he got shot up and he was
Yeah.
going pretty quickly.
Yeah. All of a sudden I was like, oh shh.
Yeah. Like, what are they gonna do? I'm like, wait, what? What's happening? They're rebooting Spider-Man. But Jean Grey saves the day and she kind of like holds him in place until they can get to the hospital and he came back to life and he recovered. And Jean Grey gets on the bus outside of New York City and rides off into the forest of upstate New York. Guess what's up there somewhere?
Yep. University, some little building, or maybe not yet. Is that created after he meets
I don't
her?
know. These are the questions we
Yeah.
have. Yeah, like how
Yeah.
far along is Professor X and his his academy or
Yeah,
whatever
she's
it's
his
called?
first. Well, he's
Um,
out there somewhere.
he's out there. And who's
Wait, what
gonna play
about
him?
Nacho? What about Nacho? Do you remember Nacho?
Oh my God.
Scorpion.
Oh my God, Nacho from Breaking Bad. Okay, love him. He was also in this movie I just watched on Netflix with Kevin Hart. It's a pretty bad movie. It's a comedy, but he's in it. So I'm like, okay, get your cash. He's like in
Yep.
these big things right now. As Scorpion, he was Scorpion in either Homecoming or No Way Home in a teaser end credit scene in a prison. And so it's
Ah,
been
I knew I had seen it
years,
before, but I couldn't remember it. That's
right?
probably why, because it's so small.
So
Okay.
small, and it's one of those things where people just gave up on it already. They're like, I don't think they're even going to bring it. That was so long ago, and I love it when they stick to the teaser from the end credits. They're like, no, we are going to do. We have a plan for that. Yeah, so they had Scorpion in this, which is also weird because I just was watching Mortal Kombat, and so every time they said Scorpion, I was getting confused.
Oh
I th
yeah.
I feel like it should be the Scorpion. Anyways, so yeah, he was in it, another famous villain from the Spider-Verse. Talked about Aunt May, Punisher. Um, I liked the ending where they showed a funny side of Punisher because in his series, in the Daredevil series, and then there's a Marvel one shot coming out. He is so dark. Like he's one of the few Marvel characters that use guns and actually executes people, not just arrest them. And so he's more like vigilante than he is superhero. So it was fun to see this like lighthearted side of him through Spider-Man.
It's
You know,
interesting because he kept shooting the Hulk, and Peter Parker's like, "Stop shooting him!" Like,
he was like shooting him with like right up close with the machine gun.
yeah, like a million rounds, and it's like,
Yeah,
first of all, obviously this is not working.
it's
Second of
just
all,
bouncing off.
he's not the villain here, actually.
Oh my gosh. And then yeah, it ended with Punisher helping Peter Parker get out of the hospital while all the fans were outside, but
That
he
was
was
cute.
able to get out unrecognized by the distraction of the Punisher in the hospital room window, waving with the Spider-Man mask. Um, yeah, very, very cool.
I like how he made that comment. He's like, "You look just like I expected," or like how I was assuming. It was cute. Poor guy.
Now, did you say for the post-credit scene of this one,
I
speaking of?
did. I did.
Okay, there
But
was only
should
one.
if there's something else that happened in the movie, should we talk about that
Oh
first that I
yeah,
want to
yeah,
ask
yeah, yeah,
about?
yeah.
One last thing. So the whole idea of like people not remembering who he was, right? MJ found a letter in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Um, and it was so sad because like at there was a scene before that where Jean Grey pretended
Ah,
that MJ remembered him, and it was I knew it from the second it started happening. I was like, it's the other thing, the
oh
because we didn't know it was
shoot.
Jean Grey yet. I was
You're
like, it's the mind
good.
person. And then when it got revealed, everybody in the whole theater was like, and
They
it was
totally got
loud.
me. They got
Oh
me,
my
and
God.
as it was happening, as Jean Grey was pretending to be MJ, remembering, I kept thinking, "What? What a cop out! Like, what is this
Yeah,
like
I was like, it's too
Disney
easy. That's what.
love story thing?" And I was so happy that they flipped it. But that's good that
Okay,
you got ahead of it. I got
I
caught.
did, but the only reason was exactly what you just said. I'm like, this is too easy. There's no way
Like, yeah,
that
it
they made
can't
this
be, right?
whole climax of this other movie for, and then like the beginning of him like in hiding for 4 years, or not hiding, but not telling people for 4 years for her just to remember,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
However, then at the end, or in between, sorry, she found the letter telling her who he was, and he said, "I love you," and he like poured
Oh,
his heart out to her, and she said, "You know, you have these memories, but I don't, and I don't love you." So it was like heartbreaking. And
heartbreaking.
then at the end, the very, very end of the film, he ran into Ned, and he did the secret handshake with Ned, and Ned looks at him and he goes, "Peter," and he
Uh-huh.
like remembered him. So I'm like,
And you
what's
remember the
that?
handshake. You remember the handshake just
So
automatically.
like that
They did
broke
cut
it
to
through.
they cut to one more thing after that of MJ holding the necklace from Peter and rubbing the thing that's on the necklace, and she was like deep in thought. So that might have also triggered something. Maybe she's been wearing that since the memory wipe, and just for the first time realizes like,
Oh,
oh, what is this that I'm wearing? Why am I wearing this?
yeah.
And starting to think, oh, maybe it was that guy, that guy that calls himself Peter. But that
That
was
Romeo creepy letter.
yeah, that was heartbreaking. I didn't think they were gonna go there, and it was like,
Yeah.
oof. Um, and we've seen it happen once before in Avengers, where Star-Lord meets the multiversal Gamora after the real Gamora
Yeah.
died, and it's a different person.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
so heartbreaking too.
it's so
Ugh.
sad. It makes me think of rom-com 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler. Every day she forgets that they're in love, and he would find a new way every morning to make
Aw.
her fall in love with him. And the soundtrack's really good. Uh, but at least this is the same. This is technically the same person. She just had her memory wiped. Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm glad you brought it up. It could mean a lot of things. First, it could mean that yes, there's a movie where he tries to win her back and they fall in love again, maybe differently. Maybe the new version of her falls in love and it's not about her remembering. There's another theory that when Jean Grey did her thing, it it effed with people's Peter spell and it jogged their
Mm.
memory a little bit more because that would explain both Ned and MJ remembering a little bit. There's another theory out there that Ned is mystical because he actually knows how to use that ring that Doctor Strange uses.
I was gonna ask you
Yeah.
about that.
And he has a mystical bloodline, so that could be a little bit of reason why he can break through the spell. Um, and then it could be a little mix of the cheesiness of they were so close, and something like a physical handshake is muscle memory, and it could jog something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe the physical thing, the necklace acts like a totem, and she's starting to remember it now that she read the letter. But the the theory that I would like to happen is a little bit unpopular, is that he doesn't get back with MJ. That this they still become friends and same with Ned and they all become best friends again, but the romance and the love has ended. It was ended with the teenage trilogy. What do you think of that?
Um, I mean, the scene with them just all hanging out was really cute. So like I want
Yeah.
them to be back regardless of how it happens. Um, but I don't think he can ever move on from that.
Oh, that's
So
true.
he'll just be stuck like in love with her all the time, you
Yeah.
know? Especially if he's not giving himself space. Maybe if he goes away for a while and doesn't like hang out with her and gets out of that. Because
Yeah.
man, that's hard to reveal that and then just be in it. So I don't
Ugh,
know. I
that's
think that'd be
tough.
sad.
Yeah, because he never got his memory wiped. So for him, it's just she just randomly stopped loving him.
Yeah.
Um,
And he's been okay, like let's be real, he's been stalking her these whole
yeah,
4 years.
it is weird because since they don't know him, and then he would, yeah.
Yeah, he's totally stalking her. That's creepy.
Okay, so I'll get you excited. So maybe you'll see why I think it'd be cool to let the romance die. In the comics and the video game, after his relationship with MJ, he starts dating other characters, and that's always fun. So there's a character named the Black Cat, and she's really cool. She's like giving Catwoman, but she has some like cat-like powers versus like a spider. She has like the way she can jump as like a cat and crawl on the walls and stuff like that. And she knows martial arts, all that fun stuff. But they get together, and it's a very like sexy relationship and very because they're both like
So a
jumping on
rebound.
buildings and stuff. Yeah. So they do a lot of like the kissing and stuff on the top of the building and they run into each other. She's also a vigilante, not a hero, so she's a thief. And sometimes she does good, depending on who she's stealing from, that type of thing. So there's like this moral conflict that he always has. They know each other's secret identity. And then
Is this
eventually,
before or after Catwoman? This is literally
oh,
Catwoman
I
for
want to say
Marvel,
it's
right?
probably around the same time. There was a
Oh
lot of
God.
those, a lot of
Yeah.
DC and Marvel, like similar things.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and even Catwoman and Spider-Man. I mean, I said Spider-Man. Catwoman and Batman had that same romantic thing, right? That thing going
Yeah.
on, the Dark Knight and the Dark Cat, Black Cat. But anyways, she's really cool. She has like long white gray hair, great sexy character. And in the storylines, MJ is still in his life. Sometimes they go off to university, sometimes they're still living in New York City, but they're like best friends and like she knows Felicia, who's Black Cat. and she knows that they're dating and they like check in on each other. And I just think that's cool. And then there's other storylines where they do go off and have their own things and then get back together way later, which is
Okay.
also special. They might do that
Okay, I
too.
kind of like that idea.
Yeah. And then like we saw in the Andrew Garfield movies and in the part three of the Tobey Maguire movies, there's a character from the comics that was introduced named Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy. She's blonde, and
Hmm.
she was always the love interest after Mary Jane in the comics. So they might want to bring her into the story too. And they can't do any of that or like help Peter move on into new stories without having the breakup last a little bit longer. So,
I kind of like Gwen just being his best friend though.
oh.
Were they ever romantic in Spider-Verse?
Oh, she was already Spider-Gwen by then, I think, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. So no, they probably weren't. Oh, I think
I
they
can't
haven't
remember if there was a
yet.
romance or
I
not.
think it's starting. I think it was starting. I can picture a
Okay.
scene when they're like sitting on a beam and they
Oh
like
yeah,
move closer to each other.
somebody's drawing pictures of each other in it. Shoot, I
Yeah.
think he's drawing pictures of her.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in that case, it's Miles. So it is
Oh
changed a
yeah, it's
little
Miles,
bit.
not even.
It is a little bit
Yeah.
different. So, which is also a good point. Miles is coming to the MCU at some point. It's already been confirmed by Tom and Kevin Feige. We just don't know when or how. But perhaps they can do the romantic stuff with Miles instead of Tom Holland's Peter
I
Parker.
was wondering if it had something to do with that detective's family. They were giving Miles Morales vibes, no?
Oh, you're right. Okay, so that character, that cop, I forget her name. Whoops. She's also from the comics, and I could see them trying to uncomplicate things and just putting it all together and having that
Yeah.
family. That'd be cool. They showed Miles Morales's uncle in one of the Spider-Man movies, played by Donald Glover, who's called the Prowler, and he's one of the villains that is really fun in the video game to play, and he's Miles Morales' uncle. So he's out there somewhere. And there was a lot of teasers of like little kids waving at him. None of them I think were Miles Morales, but it was giving you like he's inspiring this other generation of kids to
Right.
do good. And what is the line? With with great powers comes great responsibility, something
Yep.
like that. Yeah, so yeah, MJ, Ned, all the
I
things.
know. They have to keep them all at least best friends,
Yeah.
but I would just feel bad for him. Like even moving on, I feel like if he had a new saucy girlfriend, he would still look at MJ with love. Because it's a different type
Oh,
of love, it sounds like. So
yeah.
it's like,
I could see
oh,
him getting his physical needs met with the black cat,
right.
and
Yeah.
then still pining for
Yeah.
MJ. Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
I
And
do
they're
want,
married in real life, which makes it so much
yeah.
sadder. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Some of the scenes it didn't distract me like it normally would. It actually added to it, knowing that these two actors were playing these scenes and they actually are
right.
married. Like it was pretty cool because they're so cute together. Everything that we see,
They
I
are.
don't know if it's just good PR or what, but they are so adorable together.
Yep.
All right, ready to talk about post credits.
Let's do it.
Okay, post credits, what had happened was there was no mid credit stinger. We had to wait till the very end. And we saw Ned's Spidey Tracker app, which is also a nod to the video game. That's how you do a lot of the missions, comes through these apps.
Cute.
So they had the Spidey Tracker app, and it showed him in New York City, bing, 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 and then all of a sudden it glitched out, and then it showed Spider-Man somewhere out in space. They showed his icon there. What does it
Yep.
mean? What does it
I have no
mean?
idea.
And then it said Spider-Man will return. It didn't say which movie. Usually it'll say which movie they're going to return in.
It
We'll
didn't say
say
anything. It
it
just
didn't say
said
anything.
he'll be
Yeah.
back. Some form, some place,
Yeah.
some multiverse. Who
So,
knows?
and we still don't know. So it's still unconfirmed if he is in Doomsday or not, or if we're going to have to wait till Secret Wars.
That's
Now,
right. Because he didn't
uh,
really change his outfit and he still looks the same when he's not in his like high trauma version of
oh yeah,
himself, right? So like we could have seen him in the trailer of Doomsday if he was going to be in it.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, and
Okay.
then some of the other characters, Hulk, what happened to him? Is he in Doomsday? Or are they waiting till this movie had come out before they show anything that features these characters? Because then that might have spoiled Brand New Day because there'd be no stakes, high stakes. So yeah, we don't know when Spider-Man's going to return. However, in the comics, he plays a huge role in Secret Wars. So they could be saving him to come for that Avengers half versus the Doomsday half. And so I don't know what that means. The blip, there's a lot of theories out there about why he blipped out or disappeared and it showed up in outer space. One could be that he was called into the Doomsday uh, battle, which is happening probably in the multiverse somewhere. It could
I
be
was say,
that
is that on
he's
another planet? Do we know?
it's we don't know how they're going to do it yet. Yeah, we
Okay.
don't know how they're going to do it. It could be that he's now on in the Secret Wars timeline, so we'll have to wait about 2 years. Because in Secret Wars, it is a new planet type of thing that is
Okay.
it's a stitched patchwork stitch of all the universes that Doctor Doom creates into one planet. So instead of one
Oh,
planet
weird.
winning, they all get to keep a piece of it and then they have to fight. So
Okay.
that's what it's called Battle World. And so it's possible he's there. And okay, so then we'd have to wait. And then sometimes we've seen in movies Nick Fury hanging out on this spaceship out there and he'll like call people over to give them missions. So it could be a lot of things. Now the story breaker here that the fans are talking about are the way the app works is if you spot Spider-Man, you submit it on the app.
Oh,
So someone had to have
that's
seen him.
weird.
It's not like we would know. He doesn't have a
He doesn't have
tracker
like a,
on him.
yeah, tracker
Yeah.
on him. I totally didn't even catch that.
Yeah. So either the story is broken and they messed up, or someone saw him, or he pushed it himself to let Ned know where he is or something. Yeah. So
Oh,
ooh, so pretty good. A lot of people are disappointed that it was so quick and there wasn't a mid credit, but I liked the cliffhanger because it could be mean so many things. It's like, oh,
so interesting. Is there any Spider-Man comics that talk about him out at some other planet or in space or whatever?
not directly like that.
Okay.
Other than the theories of he's in those ones that are based on the comics coming up, the Secret Wars on that Battle World planet, or called to the Doomsday Saga somehow. But yeah, there's
Okay.
nothing specific like that. He's usually just in New
Interesting.
York hanging out, neighborhood friendly Spider-Man. Oh, wait a minute. We forgot about a huge cameo and probably the the hottest scene in any MCU movie where he had to
What?
go to the office of the new Black Widow. Do you remember this?
Oh, wow.
Yep, which is the Russian spa.
Oh, okay. You're not saying hot because of her. Got it. I was just
No.
trying to, got it.
Okay. I
Okay.
mean, she is, we both say it's one of those women that we both would go for, right? Because
I would still go for her.
she has the
Yeah.
aura. She has it. But yeah, she's there, and Yelena, and
Elena. In her
she
bathhouse
in her bathhouse,
office.
and she makes him take all his clothes off, and then he keeps his mask on. That is my ultimate fantasy of all time.
Oh,
Is
I
just a
love
hot guy
it.
with a Spider-Man mask. I don't need to see the face. It doesn't have to be Tom Holland. Like that is such a fantasy. So I love that they served us for all the thirsty gays and girls who would love to see that cosplay dream come to life. But dang, he's ripped. He's now an adult. He's like a
I
man,
wonder,
Spider-Man.
I wonder if we're going to see cosplay like that.
Woo, I
I
hope
wonder if they could get,
so.
can they do that at
I
D23?
don't know
Just come in like,
how
wasn't he
naked can
wearing like boxer briefs or something like that?
they just cut it so that we
Or they
couldn't
could put a
see.
towel. No, you saw
Yeah.
his underwear.
Oh, was there? Oh, maybe
Yeah.
my
You're like, I got rid
imagination
of it.
changed it. My imagination ran some
No,
AI
just wrap
filters
a
on it.
towel. That is such a smart cosplay costume. Just the
Yeah,
mask and a towel.
it's
Oh
easy
my
and
God.
comfortable. And if you're ripped, you could show off.
I will
Um,
die.
they probably were. I saw some Mauis walking around, not ripped, but just in the hula skirt, so why not?
Right.
Uh that yeah, so that was a cool. There's a couple of scenes that featured Black Widow and her helping the cause, which was fun. But the reason why I thought we couldn't wrap up this segment without talking about it is I like that she called out what a lot of viewers think about, which is why are the Avengers sometimes helping? Why are some people not in each other's movies? And like there's an end of the world happening. Where the hell is Captain Marvel? She can just
Small potatoes.
yep. she calls it, those are small potatoes and there's big potatoes, and the Avengers will handle the big tomatoes, and you, Spider-Man, can handle the small tomatoes. Which
So
is so good
funny.
because it's like in the or potatoes. I changed it to tomatoes.
I
Um,
feel like she said tomatoes now that
did you
you're
say?
saying it. I'm like, did she say that was weird? Anyway.
uh, and it's cool because in the comics there's like that. They call them like neighborhood level, world level. There's like different things. And then somebody on Reddit had a great analogy. They said the three pieces of Marvel are reflecting three different kind of stages in someone's in their life, like the components of their life. There's the school Marvel, which is all the X-Men, and then there's the family, which is Fantastic Four, and then there's work, which is things like the Avengers, because they're
Hmm.
usually put together and they're there for a job and then they go back and do their own thing. They're like co-workers, where there's some groups who are more like family, and then you have X-Men who are like constantly learning and stuff. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's kind of interesting way to look at it.
that is
But yeah,
interesting.
they choose
It
their
is
battles that way.
it is also interesting about Spider-Man of how big his powers are that he does still worry about things like the bank robber or whatever. And that
Yeah,
detective even said it in the movie. She's like, it's just a bank robbery. We can handle that. Go
yeah,
rest.
yeah, go
Right?
rest.
Small potatoes.
Small potatoes. And Spider-Man wants to do both. I mean, he was an honorary
Yeah.
Avenger for a while when Tony Stark gave him that title. Um, yes, I think we covered all the things that were important. One thing we didn't say is what is our verdict on this? So do you have a rating, a 1 through 5 rating?
So my rating is I think I kind of landed somewhere in the middle. I didn't
Okay.
love it. It was too much action for me, but
Ooh, okay.
that's probably why a lot of people really liked it, right? You
Sure.
went in
Yeah.
talking about the director from Shang-Chi and like because of all the parkour and stuff, but I actually get kind of bored when there's too much fighting and not enough
Fair.
um feelings, I
Yeah.
guess. Like the feelers. So yeah, I put it kind of right in the middle, but I was also a little lost numerous times during the movie, but it's just because of my Marvel no wherewithal or whatever you call it. So that's mine. How about you?
It's hard. I'm looking up how many there are now. How many MCU movies? It is hard because these things get better and better if you had seen all 37 MCU movies and then all the series and then are familiar with the comics or at least have a
And then
friend
able
that can tell you
to
about it.
remember it
Yeah.
and
While you're trying
like
to
I just have a hard
ingest the
time with
movie.
stuff like that. Yeah, like I just like if I were to ever watch those like recap or the reviews that the things that you watch and they
Yeah.
talk real fast, it's like another language to me half the time. Even though I know it and I watch it, I'm just not as invested, so it doesn't stick as well. So then I
Uh,
can't remember it, right? So, but
Fair
that's
enough.
just me. Put me in a
There's
different type of
some
movie and I'll
movies
remember
like
every beat.
The Odyssey was one that my mind was wandering and trying to follow
Yeah.
the
Any
stuff
of
that
those, like Game of Thrones, it took me
yes,
forever to get into. Like, I'm like, oh
especially
my God, all
that.
these weird
All
names
the
and
names, yeah,
yeah.
names and families and alliances.
Right.
Um, so okay, I gave it a 5 out of 5, of course, if you can't tell. I think it is the best Spider-Man movie of
Whoa.
not
Okay.
just the Tom Hollands, but of all the Spider-Man movies. Yeah, and I think
Wow.
Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire was, I would say, was the best one before I watched this one. So that would be now second place, which was
Okay.
that one was really good. I want to give credit to Toby and the Fox people and Sam Raimi.
That's
Um,
so funny because I really liked, I'd rank all the other Spider-Man movies that Tom Holland did above this one.
wow.
Yeah.
I would say it is hard to not say my number one is No Way Home, but I think the reason why I feel like I love that movie so much is just because they brought the two Peters back. But I
Yeah. A
also
lot of
don't love like
fanfare.
Doctor
Right.
Strange, like he was in it a lot. I'm like, okay. So yeah, the hype around that one makes it high on the list, but this one was number one for me because it was to me the most Spider-Man. They weren't trying to make him like fight up big potatoes. He got to do the small potatoes. And then they made it a
Yeah.
lot like the video game, which is where I probably spent more hours with the video game than I have with the movies or the comics. And so for that, I just felt like, oh my gosh, this is so Spider-Man. They nailed it. 5
And
out of
you
5.
did, however, see the most Spider-Man in this movie too, if you know
Oh,
what I
yes,
mean.
all of him in this grown Peter Parker. I love adult Peter Parker. This is going to be a great era for us, great saga. And one fun thing about the box office, we were talking about the Odyssey a couple times today, but three of those actors are right now in the highest grossing films in the theaters. So Zendaya, Tom, and John are also in the Odyssey.
Crazy.
That is
And
crazy.
I don't think John was, but the other two are in Dune. Like they're just like
Yeah, yeah,
killing it lately.
yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy times. Wow, we are going into full-on extra spider web mode. Long episode today. So I'm just going to quickly run through some fun theme park things because we love the parks and we love Disneyland. And guess what? DCA has Spider-Man. So if you want to see Spider-Man in person, you can head over to DCA. There is Web Slingers, the attraction there. You have the Spider-Man stunt show, where you get to see the, what is that called? Stuntronic?
Stuntronic. Yep.
That's still impressive to me. Like if I see it on TikTok or
It's really
Reels,
cool.
I'll stop and watch it. I want to see it go by, and it's coming back more and more in my algorithm. And I saw one go by where people played the Bad Bunny song, so I was happy about that while it was
Cute.
spinning, flipping. That's the one. So that's the ride where you wear the 3D glasses and you get to use your actual hands as just like web shooters and shoot the spiders. I'm not a huge fan of that ride. It's a really great video game, not a great ride. What are your thoughts on web slingers?
Um, Probably same. I didn't really care about it until I started going to Disneyland every week with this group of people that we now, there's four of us, so we now make it a thing to like beat the score every day. So it's
Okay.
become fun because we've made it a thing.
I like
Otherwise,
that.
it's pretty cool, but you have to be more just, it's just not Disney to me in that
Yeah.
type of ride.
That's smart though. If you like gamify it, it
Yeah.
adds competition to it, makes it fun. The other place you can see Spider-Man is an unlikely place. It's at Universal Studios Orlando, Islands of Adventure. So sometimes we've talked about it on the podcast, but Universal Studios still owns the rights to Marvel characters east of the Mississippi River. Very specific, and they own it in perpetuity. So unless there's a good trade one day of IP, that means Disney World can never build any Marvel attractions that don't feature characters that exist already at Universal. Very complicated. But what that means is any rides at Universal now, like Spider-Man, means Disney cannot put Spider-Man at Disney World. It does mean they can put things like Guardians of the Galaxy because they made that Marvel property super famous, it's very obscure. And so they were not already at Universal Studios at the time. So that's why they're able to use that at Disney. But over at Universal, there's a Spider-Man ride. It is commonly talked about as one of the best attractions in the world. It was
Wow.
really groundbreaking at the time, this combination of screens and physical set pieces, animatronics and sensory things, and then the vehicle itself being like this trackless thing that can move up and down and tilt left and right. There's like pyro effects in there. It is still a really good ride. They updated it maybe 10 years ago so that the animation is a lot crisper and more modern. Some people don't love that because it lost the comic book feeling, which is really what the land is based on. It's more comic book than MCU. But
Mm-hmm.
that's where you can go see Spider-Man if you're on the East Coast. And over in Tokyo, or actually, I don't know if it's in Tokyo, but it's Universal Studios Japan. I don't know what city. They also have that Spider-Man ride that Universal has also. Yeah.
Very cool. There's no Spider-Man in Paris, is there?
Oh, wait. Guess what? I'm going
Avengers
there
Campus.
in a couple of
I
weeks, and
guess you
I
can
think
find out,
I
report
think
back.
so. There's an Avengers campus, and I hope it is open now. The Spider-Man, is it Web Slingers? I think it is Web
I don't
Slingers.
know.
Now I'm
I
getting
don't know.
disappointed. Somebody's building a Spider-Man roller coaster. I think it's like Shanghai. Someone's getting a
Oh,
Spider-Man roller coaster. Yeah. Well, I'll report back after that.
very cool. I'm so excited for you. Ah,
Woo!
so
Oh
jealous.
man. Well, I'm excited to give a shout out to our Krakatoa Punch Patreon members, Christina, Dawn, Jessica, Kylie, Ned, and Pamela. Woo!
What's
We're thinking
up?
about you.
Krakatoa Punch Posse.
The
What
whip, the whip,
what?
the whip.
All right, well, thank you all again for being amazing Patreons and supporters of our show. And in today's episode, we talked all about Spider-Man. Like, oh my gosh, even our first things first turned into Spider-Man.
True that.
Lovely to see the cinemas coming back.
Well, thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed episode 299 of the Disney Holics Show.
Follow us on social media at the Disney Holics.
And if you'd like to get in touch, send us a DM on Instagram or contact us at thedisneyholics.com. Okay,
Goodbye.
bye.